Oh, worship the King, all glorious above, and gratefully sing his powerful love. I don't remember the exact words, but it's a great song. Look it up. Oh, worship the King, I think is the name of the song. And we do need some of that right now. So, you gotta give props where props is due, and some seem to think there might be a judgment coming soon from a king who, well, he's got the naughty list, and he knows who follows the golden rule. And suddenly there's news that Mexico is going all organic and taking all of those GMO corn crops. What are they now? 96% poison or some bullshit? So if the president, I don't remember what his name is, but he sounds like he fears a king, and well, maybe Biden might wake up and say, hey, not a bad idea to stop trying to kill everybody with food along with lacks of oxygen. Well, that would be like following the golden rule. So I don't know if our president can go that low. But I was already considering life in Acapulco when I heard from Dolly El Vigilante that, well, they've already got a barter organic farm down there where, hippie style, you could work the farm and get paid in food and room and board. Kind of like old school hippies or Amish folk who just lived on the golden rule. And, well, if the president's going to be doing all that and dollar's already a peso anyway, might be a nice little escape if things get too thick in desert California. Not that I'm red pill, blue pill, don't get me wrong. I just don't like living in a state where I can't buy organic weed from my home state. Now I'd have to drive there for 18 hours legally to bring it across the border after I buy it, but I can't have it shipped. When Amazon has an organic bud business shipping in Oregon, and supposedly they're some of the best-selling buds in the world. And what is American business exactly if we're all fighting amongst states and taxing the crap out of each other in one state, and in others there's no sales tax at all? Free country, huh? Yeah, okay. Whatever you say. Yeah, I don't think so. I think there's too many games going on, like the fact that many people in California that are on probation, if they smoke weed, they go back to jail because that's a broken federal law. But they can smoke synthetic weed that's chemicals that literally makes you stupid and pass out. They can smoke that and pass their piss test and find it in a liquor store around. Seems like this business thing is a little deeper than America to me. So, are you free? And do you trust those that you call president? Well, since 9/11, I think the president has been Mr. BB. Same one whose rabbi invented what Israel calls the Holocaust vax, 75% of Israel is not going to take, along with those Trump gold coins with the knives on the back to behead us for breaking anti-Semite LGBTQ laws that Biden now pushes through. So, who's for who and what is what exactly now, if there's an American Holocaust supposed to be coming soon? And why is that the biggest secret on the news? And now Mexico's going organic and we don't want to talk about that? So we'll be one of the last few countries that doesn't warn our people that they're being poisoned in the food. But yet in Europe it says the same thing it says on cigarettes. Beware eating this food that's engineered genetically. Can cause cancer and death. We don't want to talk about that, do we? When our health departments give us an A grade for this poison food we serve. Jack in the Box, Carl's Jr. Oh, but not Burger Lounge. Well, at Burger Lounge, you have to go through a strict process because they've got too much organic things. Did you know that if you open a restaurant with organic food, it costs $10,000 to have it approved to make sure there's no poison in that kitchen from GMO foods? And this same health department that charges $10,000 for this inspection to approve you as an organically correct restaurant, well, it will give you a rating for your poison food. I don't care about that being cleaned of poisons in the kitchen. No, that's all approved. Just poison away and come on, people, eat those French fries. As you know, French fries and corn are two of the most GMO poisoned foods, and corn chips and potato chips are some of the best sellers in the store, along with French fries at restaurants like In-N-Out, who poisons you with John 3:16 on their cups. Oh, but the last time I went there, they wouldn't give me a water when I asked them why they were bundling up when a king is coming, and why they didn't care about 72 million aborted ones that are coming with him, and they're gonna act like nothing's happening and let me buy poison but not give me a free water. That's John 3:16 on the cup. Oh, they didn't give me a cup, but I've seen it there before. But many people take that one verse and they claim it will save them. Well, sounds like a doctrine of men that makes sense of hell to me, because the Sermon on the Mount had a lot of karma in it. And according to your faith, it will be given you. But if you've got a little one verse weak faith like In-N-Out's poison food, then judgment might not be so good for you. So when the king comes, I'd much rather be in Mexico. Especially if I work for the government or a food business. Because when the king comes, and wow, Can you imagine what he would do with that John 3:16 cup and the poison food? Wow. Because I've got, like great-grandparents that were like Mennonite Amish style, and just the thought of breaking the golden rule by serving someone poison, that's like heresy to them. But now it's all good. Don't worry. It won't kill you today. And if you're tough enough, you'll make it through okay. You might have a few side effects. There's a lot of these poisons were, well, originally made to put in bombs, but we could just eat it to get rid of it, Kind of like that cardboard they found in the Taco Bell meat years ago. The Taco Bell said, well, it's legal, but we'll stop now. And then Chick-fil-A and Subway got caught putting yoga plastic in their bread to make it nice and fresh. Oh, we'll stop that, but it was legal, So, props to Mexico and that president over there, because he did promise that he would help the agriculture problems, because people were tired of eating poison corn when corn and potatoes are two of the most poisoned foods. Oh, along with coffee, if it's not organic. Because see, those pesticides that keep the bugs off food, and if you can just cover that coffee so it tastes a little extra bitter, like Starbucks. Isn't it interesting that Starbucks sells organic coffee in bulk at Costco, but yet you can't buy a cup of it in their coffee shop? No. You can get some of that burnt poison bean coffee instead. It always tastes burn to me. Like, are you guys just bitter about making money in business? Or why does this stuff taste so bitter? Like you burn the beans? Because as a cook, when you roast and things, that if you roast too long, especially things like nuts, you get a little burn flavor from over roasting nuts or beans, and then, well, it ruins the soup or whatever you're making because the burnt flavor shows through. It's kind of interesting to me that coffee beans have become so gourmet with Starbucks, yet I think it's the most bitter coffee on earth. And I'm just wondering if the poison makes it that coffee bitter, because I haven't tried their organic one. I'm still so mad that they want to poison so many people to have a Starbucks poison coffee shop on every corner. How lovely. But yet this whole thing of organic Kroger coffee cost me, what, $5? But you want to go buy one of those big cups, venti, of some extra bitter poison? Hope it doesn't do anything to your brain, because, poisons and drinking, well, that's kind of like what alcoholicism is. But anyway, you don't want to get too off topic, because I do think that Mexico's done a really big thing. So props to Mexico, and how it looks like that part of the earth might be getting ready for a king. And there are a few that they're really into that blood stuff, and which sands were the sons of Abraham and which were not. And some of them think that, the darker skins, like the Native Americans and the Mexicans and the original Kush tribe was from northern Africa, called Negro Land, hired by the first slave ship used by the Rothschilds. But that's a whole nother ball of wax, so let's stick with the good things, and how some people are acting like they actually care about the land, and about how the food is grown, and what is in it and what is not. And they're sending the poisons back to the Monsanto, whatever they're calling them now, Bayer Company. poison factory and saying, "No, we're done with this crap. Go poison a rat." So, thank you, Mexico, and maybe our government here might wake up soon to the silly lies they've been shaking us into, like faux wars for oil. But Acapulco's barter town sounds like a pretty fun thing, especially as these states get crazier with all these new mandates. So, hey, you people in Mexico, muy bueno. Quiero vivir allá. Si van a seguir así, mejor que estos estados supuestamente unidos en robando, tal vez. So, learn some Spanish if you'd like to go to Mexico and eat organic and not have to worry about if it's USDA approved, because the government of Mexico's becoming just like Scotland, who originally said ain't gonna be no GMOs or any seeds of those here in this land. We will only be organic, as that was the original plan. It seems like the king who comes would be on that page. I'm not trying to play backstabber games to depup us. So, hasta la vista, baby. Live freely and know what is truth and what is not. And if your president or king, or so-called, says it's time to go organic, give him props where it's due, because that is on cue with a king who comes to make all things right for 1,000 years and puts all the lies and liars out to sea. So I do think that right now, these leaders in Scotland and Mexico have less chance of becoming salt pillar memorials than many of the American leaders. So let's get focused on the king and pleasing him and getting his earth ready for his kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. And that's the key to the golden rule. And the greatest reset would be you just love God right, your neighbor yourself, and then it's all downhill from here. So, muy buen hecho, México, andale.